Hi, my name is Danielle Sawyer, and I'm going to be going over security practices and specifically for healthcare IT. So, in 2019, I wanted to show you the top three healthcare security breaches. These aren't small numbers. The AMCA had 25 million patients affected, Dominion was at 2.96 million, and Immediata was around 1.5 million. This is just for 2019. So, why healthcare? Because patient data is worth a lot more money on the black market. So if you were to compare PHI, which goes for around $20,000 a file on the black market, credit card information is only around 2,000. So it's a hot commodity. Now I come from healthcare IT. In stating that there is a lack of IT investment and training is an understatement. It's very true. There's a huge lack in investing in IT security and training. The industry recommendation is to spend around 10% on your IT training in healthcare, which averages around 3%. Becker's Health IT states that the amount is only around 5% of spending for most companies, yet 82% of hospitals are reporting security breaches. And there's highly connected systems. So as the organizations are growing, they have to stay connected. And it's not always a very secure connection. From a personal perspective, we always brought in the lowest form of a product so that we can spend less money and save money. But we had issues when we needed to upgrade. Our personnel was forced into learning it quickly without proper training. Therefore, things weren't being implemented the right way. This causes problems. So, what can we do? According to InfoSec Institute, there are 10 things that healthcare companies should do to secure their network and their data. Do routine risk assessments. These will help you see where your weaknesses are, and you can plan your attack to harden your security. Assign a specialist. This not only means that you're making someone a SME and they become the most knowledgeable of that, but when you give someone ownership and that's their baby, it helps them take their job a bit more serious. Common practices from all employees. This includes complex passwords that change regularly, disabling accounts post departure of employees, reviewing employee access routinely, and assessing the websites that are being accessed and that have been allowed to see if it's still needed. This will help keep your firewall clean as well. Continuing education and training. This will keep your staff up to date and knowledgeable with their current tech as well as future possibilities. Contingency planning. This includes ways to segment your network for possible infiltration and also failover situations. You would be surprised how many corporations, not just healthcare, that are lacking in this. Data security practices include encrypting your data and being sure to teach your staff the importance of this. Having proper physical access and network design, this will ensure that your equipment is secure and the access to this equipment is minimalized by procedures and, of course, knowing the staff that has access. New technology to be brought in and utilized for keeping up with the times. And documentation. This is crazy for me to say this, but it's true. There's always a lack of documentation. I've been to a few different companies for security, and this seems to be across the board. It's key in understanding how to access, use, and even distribute information safely. And also doing regular evaluation and auditing, which goes hand in hand with your risk assessment. Let's see where your network is weak and how you can protect it. So my recommendation, and this is speaking from my previous position as an infrastructure security analyst in a healthcare environment. So I do have a few ideas on what we could do to keep things safe. Annual training for staff on current security practices and an overview or retraining on the current technology that you have. There's times that we fall into a comfort with an application or software, and unfortunately, sometimes you kind of veer a little bit off path. And the longer you go without getting back on your path, you get further away from best practice. Diligence around disabling former employees' access to systems and sites. So, at a minimum, a quarterly review of access to systems that employees have is important. This is the way that you can see, do they still need it? Should they still have it? I've seen people retain access to systems that they no longer worked in within years. And how do I know? Because I was one of them. I once had access to a system that I hadn't touched in 9 years in 3 departments ago. Also, I really go for a top down approach in security. We need leadership to be on board with what's being implemented. I worked very hard for a year on tightening our security through network access control, Daily, I was being pushed back to loosen those controls. I was on calls and almost fighting daily with people saying that the system's not working, when in reality, they just weren't complying. However, didn't have a strong leadership behind me, fell through, and they were getting on the network without following protocol. Some sites that I was looking at are listed right here. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for listening.